This question says the standard free energy, delta G naught, is equal to minus 457.14 kilojoules for this reaction. And this is the reaction of hydrogen plus oxygen to form water, a reaction you're likely familiar with. And it says use this information to complete the table below and round your answer to the nearest kilojoule. Couple things. One, the free energy takes into account both the enthalpy and entropy for the reaction. If it's negative, it means the process is spontaneous, and hydrogen reacting with oxygen will spontaneously form water because delta G is negative. The other thing to note is that this behaves the same way as the standard enthalpy of a reaction. So delta H, if you were given it for a given reaction, you could compare it to other reactions in exactly the same way as you did way back in the thermodynamics chapter in General Chemistry 1. So let's look at the example here. What you want to do is compare the reaction that you're given the delta G of and to the reaction you're trying to find the delta G of. So let's look at this example. We have 2H2O yields H2 plus O2. You'll notice H2O is now the reactant and hydrogen and oxygen are now the products. So we have the reverse of the reaction. If we have the reverse of the reaction, we have the same magnitude, but we have the opposite sign. And since we need to round to the nearest kilojoule, instead of negative 457.14, we just put this as positive 457 kilojoules because, again, we're rounding it to the nearest kilojoule. This process is not spontaneous because delta G is positive. Let's look at the next one. Here we have 6H2O yields 6H2 plus 3O2. Again, we've reversed it. Water is the reactant, so we need to reverse the sign. We've also tripled it. Instead of 2 waters, we have 6. Instead of 2 hydrogens, we have 6. And instead of 1 oxygen, we have 3. So we need to reverse it, which is 457 kilojoules. Whoops. And then we need to multiply it by 3 because we tripled it. And when you do that, you get 1371 kilojoules. So reverse and triple. Let's look at the next case. In the next case, we have 4 hydrogen plus 2 oxygen yields 4 water. You'll notice hydrogen and oxygen are the reactants, so we don't need to reverse the sign. But we've doubled it. 2 becomes 4, 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4. So we need to take 2 times the negative 457 kilojoules, and then when we round to the nearest 1, we get minus 914 kilojoules. So again, the free energy can be treated in the same way as the enthalpy, delta H, as you did in General Chemistry 1.